Hello and welcome to the world of Matthias. I actually got the chance to trade in one of my Stratocasters for this guitar. Now this is a Gibson Explorer from 2008 and it has all the features that I need to do a Korina rebuild. All the features, of course, except for the white limba wood. And I will try to, with help of the products from NITORLACK, remake this to a Korina 58. Now Gibson's Korina Explorer currently costs around $10,000. That's a very high price for an Explorer. So I thought, yeah, maybe I can do something with this. Can I take a cheap Gibson Explorer and make it into a real high-end guitar? It has the right size of pickguard. It has the volume and tone knobs in the right precision. It has the black head with the mother of pearl inlay. And it has the dots. It has all that I need. I just have to strip the paint and change out the hardware to gold, and I should get quite close to a Korina. In the end of this video you will see how well I have done getting there. The guy that I got this from, he really loved this guitar and he has played it a lot, but he hasn't cleaned it that much. So my first step is just to remove all the parts and clean it. So let me just show you how dirty this guitar is. There's no major dings in the guitar. Of course there are some dings right around here by the tone control, but no majors. Mostly scratches and dirt. The serial number is barely visible, but here you can see made in the USA 2008. I have to be very careful when I remove this paint here. Of course I want the serial number still to be visible. So we will clean it up and make it ready for the big shift. So this is the tailpiece. It's unmarked, quite heavy. This is the Nashville bridge. It says PW on the back, and yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. Again, it's very dirty, nothing wrong with it. I can remove the tuners first. The big challenge on this project is to make the mahogany look like white limba. That will be a challenge, but I think with NITORLACK's products I will be able to come quite close. I don't know how many parts this guitar is made of. It will be fun to see both the construction of the neck and the construction of the body. I expect the body to be 2 or 3 pieces. Less than that and I will be positively surprised. More than that I will be a little disappointed. So these are mini grovers. But that's not what the Korina has. It should probably be a historic crossrod cover. I will see if I can find that. Could be a little bit hard to find that. Okay, so I've gotten some of the things that I'm going to be using on my Explorer. And yeah, it's from a 2-man. So inside this box, some of the most important hardware has arrived. And yeah, it will be great to open it and have a look at it. So since this is a Korina model, I have to change all of the electronics and the hardware that you see on the guitar to gold hardware. So this is a golden switchcraft. And this is the shorter version. And this is a golden output jack. Here are just some screws. This is a switchcraft amber switch knob. And this is the historic spec ABR bridge from Gibson. This is the one without any wires here. So yeah, that will be good. And inside here, because I was thinking about getting the golden Gibson tailpiece as well, but they didn't have the historic specs. So I got this one instead. And this is from ABM, and this one should be an exact replica of the late 50s tailpiece. Very nicely packed. This is on quality stuff. This was more expensive than the actual Gibson tailpiece. It has a nice weight to it. And the ABM brand is a German brand. Yeah, it looks lovely. With the Gibson ABR1 historic specs with no wire. And this tailpiece, I will get as close as I can to the late 50s specs. So there is probably 100 different ways of doing this. But what I have done now is I've just taped down the places that I don't want to remove the paint on. I'm also a little bit wary of the serial number on the back. But it's stamped, so it should be good. It shouldn't be any problem. But I'm going to try it out on the made in the USA bit first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use paint stripper from NITORLACK and just remove all of the paint here. It will be very interesting to see what happens when we remove this paint from this guitar. So let's open up the box that I got from NITORLACK and see what they sent me and see what we are going to use to strip this guitar from all the paint. So I'm half and half sponsored by NITORLACK. I bought some things, but they also sent me some things for free. So they sent me a little more of these sandpapers, which are really, really good. And what have we got here? This is the Relic Gloss Spray and also a primer spray. We have the Amber Vintage Spray, wood grain filler. We have a solvent, and we're going to use that to neutralize the paint stripper. And this is the paint stripper, especially made for guitar finishes. Not poly though. It's a little bit scary doing this on a real Gibson because it's quite a big investment. This is a little bit more than a $1,500 guitar, and I'm doing this for you. If you want a Korina Gibson, they are crazy expensive. So this is maybe this is an easy way to find out if you can get something that looks like it for much less money. So this is what it looks like now. It may look like a mess, but we will clean it up. You can see that we have EB here, and that I bet that stands for Explorer Black. And in this cavity here, it was nice to see that the markings was made underneath the paints, so they are preserved. It says DSXR, and I don't know what that stands for. Maybe someone can tell me that in the comments. In here, this cavity, it just says 3. So let's continue stripping this guitar, and I will get back to you once it's done. Okay, so we have come a long way. Look at this. It's au natural. That's the back of the headstock, and you can clearly see the serial number. And this is the back of the neck. And also here is the back of the body on the edge here on the neck. That there's a veneer on top here, so it will be a nice transition there. This is the front of the guitar. So now this is clearly very dark. I could choose just to let it be as it is, because this would be great guitar. Look at this. Or if I just did it like this. But no, I want to go all the way. I want to show you the process of making this into a Korina. So I'm going to go all the way. So now I'm going to treat this with a solvent from NITORLACK just to neutralize it. And then I'm going to leave it overnight. And then tomorrow we can break out the hydrogen peroxide and put it on the guitar, see if we can bleach it to a lighter hue. We will see. Alright, so now it's time to start working on this hydrogen peroxide. And what you have to do before you start to doing it, and I have just tried it here, you have to first sand down the surface of the guitar, and then you can put that on. And so this area here, I just sand it down, and then I put the hydrogen peroxide over it, and let it be for 2 hours, and that's the result that you are left with. So that, I think, maybe that and maybe one more time. So let's start doing that. So this is the first pass of this. That is the untouched surface, and this is the one that I have sanded down one time and then put on the hydrogen peroxide. But I don't know if this effect is the chemical or if it is just my sanding. So let's do one more pass here. I'm going to sand it down one more time, and then I'm going to hit it with the hydrogen peroxide one more time, and we will see where we go. But it definitely lighter now than it was before. So yeah, it could work this. Now it's all sanded down, front and back. And yeah, you can see it's much lighter now. And this is the starting point to see if I can make this guitar a little bit lighter. I'm going to try to do one pass now and maybe two passes. We will see how it goes. Let's start. So here it is now. You can see it's a beautiful, 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 beautiful piece of mahogany. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we have come this far. This is the third turn that I do with the hydrogen peroxide. It's kind of stabilized here at this hue, so I don't think I can get it much lighter than this. I've come a long way from where I first was, but I think I'm going to need to put on some lye here just to keep the wood from not going yellow or brown again. So I'm going to put on lye, and the only lye that I found in my local paint shop was a lye with a little bit, I'm not sure if it's tainted, but let's see. It's kind of white, but I tried it on some oak, and I don't think that it's white once I just put it on here. So let's just see. It's no biggie if it goes white, as long as I can see the wood grains beneath it. If it really goes south, I just have to sand it down again. So let's try the lye and yeah, see how it goes. Okay, I'm a stupid idiot. I forgot to press the record button when I put on the dye on the guitar. But essentially, I just used a sponge and I took this dye from NITORLACK and I put it over the guitar, and it turned out like this. I think that this is pretty close to a Korina. Maybe it's a little bit dark. It's a little bit wet now. So it will become a little bit brighter when it has dried up. I'm pleased with this. Can I sell that? Look at that. It's quite close, isn't it? Now let's let it dry and put on 3 coats of primer. And now I've finished the sanding, and now we will continue with the polishing. And we'll start with this one. It's a compound cut. It has a little bit more grit in it. And then we will finish it off with this super finish polish. All in all, these two should give this guitar high gloss. So yeah, we will do that. But this time I will not use my machine. I will try to do this by hand. Let's see how that goes. All right, so it's now all polished up, and yeah, I think it looks great. It really looks great. Look at that. Look at that finish. Yeah, I will get you some close-ups later, but yeah. So now it's just an empty husk, and now the fun starts, because now we're going to mount all of the hardware and the electronics on the guitar. So yeah, let's press on and do that. Okay, so what have we got? We have the Gibson 57 Classics in gold, of course. So we're going to have, I think that was fitting on a 58 replica. These are the old rings that was on the guitar, and they will fit nicely. What else have we got? The golden bell knobs. Of course, the back plate. He actually never took off the protective film here, so chances are that this is quite nice. It should be a brown one. Maybe I change that later. There is some things on this guitar that hasn't arrived here yet, and one is the tuners, the Cluson tuners. I have ordered them on eBay, but they haven't arrived yet. And also the output jack. I couldn't find that anywhere in Europe, so I had to order that from Philadelphia Luthiers. I have one of these historic trussrod covers. Will not have noticed it, but it's actually 2 months later now in the video. I needed some spare parts for the guitar, so I had to order these Cluson tuners, but I ordered them from a seller in Shanghai, and they sent it to me, but it got stopped in customs here in Sweden and was sent back. So I had to order a new pair, and I did that via a seller in the US. So now I can put on the last remaining parts on the guitar so we can finish it and see how it looks. So that's great. So all of these are bought from the US. Because the tuners are the more modern ones, they have a 10mm hole here, and the old Cluson vintage style, the tuning rods in these are smaller, so I can't use these ones that's in this package, so I bought these instead. So these will look like the original. These are a replacement item from Cluson. So they will look the same from the front, but they are a little bit bigger here. So that's the 3 things that we will change right now. So let's start with the tuners. Alright, so I think that does it. Now it's just a matter of mounting the tailpiece and the bridge, and then we can put on some strings, and then we can test it. Look at this. Look at how nice it turned out. This is the finished product. This is awesome. It all looks right and it all feels right. There are some things that I have done that I didn't show in the video. I don't know if you can see it, but the posts, they go right into the wood. So I had to fill in the holes with wood there and put in the posts. But it turned out nice, I think. I even put in the Gibson historic pots and a bumblebee capacitor in the guitar. So I think that I went all the way. It feels nice, it looks nice, and it sounds great. So how do I summarize this project? Well, it has been one of the most fun and one of the most rewarding projects that I ever done. Working with a quality instrument as this is, it really helps you appreciate real nice material. That is my takeaway from this project. When you get into details with these things, looking at things that never was intended to be looked at, and they are still great quality, then it's easy to be luthier. Now, I did try some techniques that I haven't tried before. Does it look like Korina or white limbas? Not 100%. Maybe I should just let it be when I have bleached it and not taint it with yellow. All in all, this is a great looking guitar now, and it feels really nice. Unlike the Flying V, the setup on this guitar is exactly the same as the old 58 Korina. I have been looking for a V as well to do, but the setup on those is very different than the 58 Korina. It's not easy to find a project to work on. The takeaway is also, if you live in Europe, some of the parts that you need are really hard to get by, so you have to order them from overseas, and mainly America then. But if you are prepared to do that, then I highly recommend these sort of projects. Don't be afraid to work on your nice and expensive guitars. They really are nice instruments and they really have nice qualities. As long as you keep an eye on that back door so you have something to return to. If something goes wrong, go ahead, strip the paint, do like I did, and you will be fine. It's not hard to do this, it's quite easy actually. And that was all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye bye.